Ram, 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 Ram. Welcome, everyone. Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in from wherever you are, all over the planet. Let's huddle up together and just get real cozy and about to receive this beautiful, beautiful gift. Have our loving cup filled of the season 3 finale of the Soul Land music series, songs and stories inspired by Ram Dass. Season 3 conclusion. Here we are. It's a beautiful Friday evening, and it is grace to be able to be together and share this sacred moment together. So let's just take a moment and further arrive. And I'm your host. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm so excited. It's a great honor to be here. My name is Shiva Baum, and on behalf of the Love Serve Remember Foundation, ramdas.org, Soul Land Records, I'm your host for the evening, and I'm just so excited about what we're all about to receive together. Two artists that I would very, very accurately describe as musical heavyweight champions of the heart, soul, and spirit, artists who are deeply connected to the work of Ram Dass and the love, the wisdom, loving awareness. Ooh, it's so wonderful that we have this platform for artists who have this connection to Ram Dass and to Neem Karoli Baba, and just this vibration, this loving awareness vibration, that these artists can come together from whatever their tradition of music that they have decided and dedicated to serve from. They could come and just be just so vocal about their experience and their connection to this wave, and to really have the outlet to very, very vocally share their love and how it ties together with their musical offering. And so tonight, let's get right into it. We have Mikey Pauker and Gone Gone Beyond. I'm just so excited. So we're gonna have the musical performance from each artist, followed by a Q&A. And so you can leave questions in the comments wherever you're watching from. And we have the wonderful, magical Gina, who will be fielding the thread and checking out the inquiries here. And if you have a thoughtful, soulful, heartfelt question, sincere question for Mikey Pauker, please put it in, and Gina will make sure that it comes my way, and we can see if we can fit it in and include it with the session tonight. Also, very, very exciting to announce, we have a giveaway, but you're gonna have to stay till the end to find out the giveaway. All month long, we've been running a giveaway on the Soul Land Records Instagram account. So if you haven't gotten with Soul Land on Instagram, it's at Soul Land Records on Instagram. And later tonight, we'll announce our 5 lucky winners. Stay tuned to see if you have won. All right. And with that, we're going to not postpone joy, because why postpone joy? We didn't come this far just to come this far. We are here to pause, delight, celebrate life on the path. And if our cup is near empty, we get to have it refilled and be further inspired. And that's what these artists will absolutely do for us, amongst other things, in this time together. So please, it's with a great honor that I get to introduce to you an artist that I care about very much, who's inspired me very much. His name is Mikey Pauker from Southern California. Mikey Pauker is a folk world artist from San Rafael, California. He grew up in Orange County before moving north. Mikey's early experiences it's about reading the bio. I know him so well. It's cool to like read the official bio here and share with you. So Mikey's early experiences at underground shows exposed him to the intense primal energy of live music, as well as the strong community bonds that form in an authentic and close-knit scene. Inspired by teachers who blend yoga and mystical practices, he went west to study in Jerusalem, soaking up the hidden teachings of his ancestral lineage. These spiritual dimensions guided his artistic development as he explored ecstatic music festivals and mystic religious traditions. His music implores us all to look within, sit with our darkness, and transform it into light. Mikey's sound blends elements of folk, reggae, and hip hop, incorporating English and Hebrew roots into his devotional songwriting. Mikey's music draws from influences such as early Bob Marley, Van Morrison, and the Police. Listeners will immediately identify his vibe to the likes of Michael Franti, Trevor Hall, and artists such as Mike Love and Stick Figure. You'll find direct alignment with all those influences of the past and the modern era. And Mikey has a very close relationship with the wisdom of Ram Dass and the connection to Neem Karoli Baba, and has developed beautiful, powerful friendships with Krishna Das, Jai Uttal, Benji and Heather Wertheimer, Shantala, and Aubrey Marcus, all friends of Ram Dass and Love Serve Remember Foundation and Be Here Now Network and such, and Soul Land here. So it's just with great joy. Please welcome our friend, brother on the path. We'll have a great conversation after his musical performance. Right now, please welcome Mikey Pauker.
Oh, Yamina Mayo, oh, way, oh, way, oh, way, oh, way, oh, Yamina Mayo, oh, way, oh, way, oh, way, oh, way. So repeat after me like this. Yamina, Yamina. Together like this. Oh, oh, Yamina, Yamina. Oh, 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 Yamina, my oh. Oh, way, oh, way, oh. Oh, way, oh, way, oh. Oh, yamming on my oh. Oh, way, oh, way, oh. Oh, way, oh, way, oh. Yamming come on. Oh, oh, Yamina, Yamina. Oh, oh, let's get it. die nefesh av harachama die nefesh av harachama ya arut avdecha kemo aya istachave el mul hadrecha come on Yamana, come on Yamana oh, Yamana ba-da-ba-ba-ba like a lion, a rage like a thunder. Your desire of wings that we fly on. When we unify our hearts and our soul, we rectify this moment and we lose all control. Yeah. Great Spirit, Gaia Creator, Earth Mother, a spirit surrender. Thunder breaks as our inner world shakes when we listen to the still small voice sing. I am, you are you. When we listen to the still small voice. I am, you are you. When we listen to the still small voice. I am, you are you. When we listen to the still small voice. I am, you are you. When we listen to the still small voice. Trust the universe, the silence in the forest. Listen to the mystical chorus. Thunder breaks, open up your heart. Expand like a bubble and photo, do your part and trust the universe, the silence in the forest. Listen to the mystical chorus. Thunder breaks, open up your heart. Expand like a bubble and photo, do your power and say, I am, you are you. When we listen to the still small voice. I am, you are you. When we listen to the still small voice. I am, you are you. When we listen to the still small voice. I am, you are you. When we listen to the still small voice. All of the angels in 7 directions reflecting above life. I'm feeling these blessings. Mother Moon, she makes us feel so good. Now cool down, silence, just stop. Yeah, we keep on listening to the still small voice. Silence, just stop. Yeah, we keep on listening to the still small voice. Silence, silence, just stop. Yeah, we keep on listening to the still small voice. Silence, silence, just stop. Yeah, we keep on. Let's go! I am, you are you. When we listen to the still small voice. I am, you are you. When we listen to the still small voice. I am, you are you. When we listen to the still small voice. I am, you are you. When Guide my step, Great Spirit, and walk me towards the light. Guide our steps tonight. Dry with my head up when I'm all alone, restless in this hotel room. Send me my guardians, I need proof. Please free me from my patterns and stories that hold me back. Yes, Jaja, I need you. Give me a heart to feel 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 you, yeah. Give me a heart to feel you. Give me a heart to feel you. Give me a heart to feel you. Give me a heart to feel you, yeah. Give me a heart to feel you. Please teach me how to stride with my hair up when I'm all alone, restless in this hotel room. Send me my guardians, I need proof. Please free me from my patterns and stories that hold me back. Yes, Jaja, I need you. Give me a heart to feel 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 you, yeah. Give me a heart to feel you. Give me a heart to feel you. Give me a heart to feel you. Give me a heart to feel you, yeah. Give me a heart to feel you. It's breaking me down, I'm gonna give it. It's breaking me down, I'm gonna live it. Rattle my bones, rattle my skull, my bones, my skull, my heart is full. It's breaking me down, I'm gonna give it. It's breaking me down, I'm gonna live it. Rattle my bones, rattle my skull, my bones, my skull, my heart is full.
All right, I'm gonna do another acoustic song right now for y'all. It's a song I wrote. I kind of got into it was a political conversation with a friend who's also a touring musician. I'm not gonna say who, but somebody else in the circuit. And he was really sure. He was like, "Mikey, it's this way." And I said, "Maybe, like, what do we really know? Could be." And it wasn't to gaslight his experience or anything. It was just a question, like, this is your perspective and then there's other perspectives. something that I love about this world is there are many perspectives. So I ended up writing this song. And then I spoke to my coach Shiva, who I've been with. You're going to see him, he's on the show. And I said to him, this is what happened. I wrote this song and I sang it for him. And he spoke me back. He's like, that's Ram Dass. That's his teaching. And I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't really know Ram Dass very well. He said, man, he said that this song came through me and it's Ram Dass's teaching. And I ended up learning a bit about it as well. That we're walking each other home. So I ended up recording this song, and this is the song's going to be included on a compilation for Soulland Music Productions. We recorded this song live in the studio, and that's what you'll be hearing. So I hope you like it, and thank you, Ram Dass, for bringing this concept into our lives, and for choosing people to sing your songs. I'm still learning about how that all works in real time. So big love to you, Maharaji, and all those that, specifically Maharaji, and how you speak through different individuals and help bring out these gems. And it's a miracle, it really is. We were born for courage. We were born to love. And in this great deception, one who thinks that they are separate from it all. Some of us believers, all of us in time. How can we judge one another? All our steps are weaving, spirit intertwined. In this castle that we built is for all that wanna go on this road of waking up, where the queens and kings of love. And I know it's hard sometimes to feel the earth between our toes. I'll meet you on this path, we're walking home. I'll meet you on this path, we're walking home. Some of us are angered. Some of us accept it all. What does it mean to be a mirror, reflecting all these broken pieces from the stars? Now it's time for conversations that shine truth on us all. With our hearts, can we speak tender, inviting courage and compassion from the start? In this castle that we built is for all the
toes. I'll meet you on this path, we're walking home. I'll meet you on this path, we're walking home. I'll meet you on this path, we're walking home.
Watching this video. It's great to be here with you all. We're going to sing a couple more songs. One is called Rise. And I wrote this about the fact that I grew up with depression. And having these emotions within myself, I've learned that my music, they are actually life vests that I throw out into the ocean, the abyss of the ocean of this life. And these songs that I write, they saved my life. You know, I was listening to Krishna Das speak, and he was saying that kirtan, the fact that he chants, is him saving his own life. And I feel like that's what my songs are. And this song, for me, I didn't even really understand what it was about until after I wrote it. It came through, and you know, through the resilience of vulnerability of sharing from our hearts, we have the ability of, as a community around the world, rising up together. When we share the vulnerable aspects of our heart, this is healing that is occurring in real time through the act of opening our heart in dialogue and sharing our personal vulnerabilities and our secrets. And I really think within that comes the healing of not just this generation, but really all generations who have ever existed and to come in the future generations. So I hope you enjoy this song, and I hope you'll sing along and watch the music video. You can check it out on Facebook and Instagram. Rise.
Passionate eyes can rip a soul from your seas. There's people lying down with no water to drink. This is a crazy taste of reality, and all of die, and all of breathe, all of die. All I breathe. We gotta rise up, oh, we gotta stand up tall. Don't let this world lock you out of your soul. We gotta rise up, oh, we gotta stand up tall. Don't let direction, stay on your feet. No matter what path we choose, keep on circling the fracture of moon. All one people stand up in unite. Everything is sacred, everyone is sacred. We gotta rise up, oh. We gotta stand up tall. Don't let this world lock you out of your soul. We gotta rise up, oh. We gotta stand up tall. Don't let this world lock you out. When we look inside, yeah, we see this ember. We know this light inside is our love. When we look inside, yeah, we see this ember. We know this light inside is from Jah. We're imitating stars that move across the shimmer. We know this light inside is our love. When we look inside, the pole is the mirror. We know this light inside is our love. When we look inside, yeah, we see this ember. We know this light inside is our love. When we look inside, yeah, we see this ember. We know this light inside is from Jah. We're imitating stars that move across the shimmer. We know this light inside is our love. When we look inside, the pole is the mirror. We know this light inside. We gotta rise up, oh. We gotta stand up tall. Don't let this world lock you out of your soul. We gotta rise up, oh. We gotta stand up tall. Don't let this world lock you out. Sing with us if you're with us. Come on. We gotta rise up, oh. We gotta stand up tall. Don't let this world lock you out of your soul. We gotta rise up, oh. We gotta stand up tall. Don't let this world lock you out. We gotta rise up, oh. We gotta stand up tall. Don't let this world lock you out of your soul. We gotta rise up, oh. We gotta stand up tall. Don't let this world lock you out. Don't let this world lock you out. Don't let this world lock you out. Of your heart.
We're going to play one more song and invite up my friend Joel on guitar to come join us. And thanks once again to the Soulland music series for coming through and inviting me to be a part of this. Such a great band as well on the same episode, Gone Beyond. We are old friends, and I've known David for years, and met him at Burning Man actually. He goes by the DJ of the Human Experience, but his new project is called Gone Beyond, and they're actually, I think, leaving to go on tour with Trevor Hall. I'm pretty sure it's a sold-out tour coming up in the next few weeks, so good for you. I'm happy for y'all. I love your music, and if you haven't checked out the record, check out. It's called 2030. Beautiful, amazing future folk record. And I want to say hey to my friends David Block, Mel Semé, Cat Factor, and Dan Musengo, all artists in Gone Beyond. I love you. I want to say thanks to Shiva for hosting this episode. Mangala, Raghu Marcus, Ramdas, the whole foundation. We love you so much. My name is Mikey Pauker. I'm from Southern California. If you like the music, find me on Instagram, Facebook, Clubhouse, wherever it may be, reach out and let's stay in touch. We got a lot of shows coming up this spring. Lucidity Music Festival, Playthink Music Festival. So many things to look forward to. We love you. Thanks for being here. And enjoy the last song. It's called Say Yes.
Cradled in the morning with tears in your eyes. Wake up to this brand new day. Say what you want, today's transformation is pumping through your blood and vein. You found out you are your own guru. This energy and frequency just like Mauna Kea, yeah, you are your own guru. This energy and frequency just like mountain medicine. Say what you want, it's gonna make you feel something. This darkness inside gonna make your heart feel complete. And I know this road and what this path means to me. Release all your fear and open up your wings and be. And let your walls down, let your walls down. Let your walls down and say yes. Let your walls down. Let your walls down and say yes. Let your walls down. Let your walls down and say yes. Let your walls down. Let your walls down. And when will these blessings won't stop. We keep on reflecting our soul as we rock and roll. Like the genre, keep passing and faster. These stitches are itching. Help me bless them up. Give me some pain, give me some trust. Give me some love, give me some dust. You found out you are your own guru. This energy and frequency just like mountain medicine. See what you want, it is gonna make you feel something. This darkness inside gonna make your heart feel complete. And I know this road on what this path means to me. Release all your fear and open up your wings and be. And let your walls down, let your walls down. Let your walls down and say yes. Let your walls down. Let your walls down and say yes. Let your walls down. Let your walls down and say yes. Let your walls down, let your walls down.
Let's just take a moment and breathe together for just another moment, be more together and take in the resonance of that heart soul space reverberation offering from Mikey Pauker. And we're very, very, very grateful to have arrived in this moment. And we have more music coming up with the set from Gone Beyond and an interview with them. And we have giveaways. But right now, we're giving away this moment in dialogue with Mikey Pauker. Please welcome to Soul Land. Welcome, Mikey.
Thanks, Shiva. Good to be here with you. It's like you and I together it's so easy. We do this like a few times a week, it seems, right? We get to talk a lot, right?
We could do this all day, but this is a wonderful opportunity to have an open dialogue for this little parentheses that we're here for. We're going to go real deep in a real short amount of time here about your connection with Ram Dass and the other artists who are elders in the musical wisdom and sharing that you've developed very beautiful friendships with Benji Wertheimer and his wife Heather Wertheimer, who have a group Shantala, and you toured with them, went very deep with them, and for a while you'd been nearly neighbors with Jai Uttal up in Northern California, and got to develop a relationship with him, and you've been connecting with Krishna Das, and Aubrey Marcus had you out to Austin for the podcast, and you got to perform on that as well. So it's so beautiful to come full circle with Raghu, who I know you've been talking now, and then you paid it forward by introducing us to Gone Beyond, and then the song that you talked about that came through. I want to really open there with this song, "Walking Home," which will eventually come out. Right now, it's unreleased, but it's beautifully inspired by Ram Dass in a very fascinating way. You talked about it. I hope people could hear that that message. Anything you want to say more about the song before we move forward?
Yeah, sure. That song, it came to me at a time when, pretty sure it was pre-pandemic. I was still living in San Rafael, and I was at the time living with 20 people in an intergenerational hippie community. And when I say hippie, I mean it's like, yuppie. It's not like real hippies, but spiritual, deep spiritual people. And I was sitting there, like as I mentioned during the set, that these songs, they come as gifts. And when I was writing, I did have a conversation with a friend of mine who's a musician in the touring circuit, and it became a pretty heated conversation. As you know, this was before the blow up of 2020, but this is the, I guess you would say, the beginning of that collective, I guess we call it a purge. And it's just a conversation about absolution. When we get into these deep conversations, sometimes we forget that there's other perspectives, right? And so it came to me in that moment when I was sitting down to play, that regardless of what perspective we have, we're all literally walking each other home. We're going to be on the path, on the dharmic path, as neighbors. I mean, and at least that's my goal, especially being a Jewish musician in this day and age, with so much around, different views on Israel and Palestine and all these different topics that are so hot topics. And to know that, like, we can have different perspectives, but it doesn't mean the love isn't there. Doesn't mean that I don't still honor and love and respect you. Maybe we have different views. And I think we're a very kind of like in a dangerous time in society where we're losing the idea that diversity of opinion and diversity of belief, it's so important to the fabric of being a human being. and to have the tolerance and the understanding and the compassion, even though we might disagree. So
What I really love so much about who you are as an artist and how you move through the world sharing your music and your performance of these songs, you really take so much into consideration. And I would say you're really on the front lines fighting for diversity and inclusion. That's a really powerful message that I feel you carry. And you speak on it, but you're being about it. And I'm just reminded of that now and what you're sharing about there. And of course you get into some challenging situations that you've confided me about, just, being, after all, you have a human heart like the rest of us. And sometimes there's moments where it's just too much. And there's such a fine line between being an artist and being sensitive and then finding the courage to share that in this very specific and unique time in the modern age. I want to move forward to discuss Rise, which is a song that really deserves to be seen in music video. Sometimes you could just hear a song and that's enough, but you and your team and the director of the video and all who collaborated to make that video reality, it really deserves, in my opinion, to be experienced with that context of seeing the video while hearing the song, because the imagery is so moving. And I don't know anybody who's watched it who either isn't, the tears aren't flowing, the weeping isn't already occurring, or they're holding it back, because it pierces the veil of such a sensitive area, these walls that all of us put up and guard. And the song and the video really gets to the heart of the matter, shall we say. And I'd love you in that spirit to just share any thoughts you have about what your intention of the song is and your experience with the video and what you hope people will receive from the experience.
Wow. Well, thanks for bringing that up, Shiva. That song, for both of us is an intimate thing, because I remember. So if you don't know, everybody, Shiva isn't just the host here, right? Shiva's been my coach for, I don't know, it's been 6 years. Songwriting development, A&R. He's very humble. He's a very humble guy, this guy. But in one of our sessions, I remember vividly opening up, I take a lot of notes. Shiva, I don't know if Shiva, you have this experience, but I would call you a channel. When we get into our conversations, it's like with Ram Dass, you would start speaking and these messages would come through. And so in one of Shiva's Dharma talks with me, he was saying, Mikey, this world, people are suffering. You can't let people lock them out of their heart. You can't let this world, lock people out of their heart. And it actually came through you originally.
The cruelty of the world, the horror of the world. And now, of course, in 2022 with, the war in Ukraine.
We had no idea. We wrote the song in 2017. We were having this conversation. And to think of course, yes, our human experience, there was still suffering and there's trauma and everyone has their story, but we had no idea what was going to happen in 2020.
We had no clue.
You're psychic, which some people did. And, I'm more of a realist. I didn't think that anything like that would happen. And in that conversation, in that session, you brought this through, and then something happened. It was I think of music as mediumship. Songwriters were catching songs, and this message you chose to come through you, and something in that session created this alchemy between both of us and our souls, and then we were able to write the song. And when I listen to that song years later, even after the music video that we shot, by the way, which I watch it once in a while, I'm still moved. We had no idea how it would resonate now in this day and age, with the war happening in Ukraine, with Russia and Ukraine, and just really everything that we as a human experience had to go through in this portal. and still, you know, the world's not the same, and I don't know if it ever will be. So,
And in the video, you said this when you, the video, you released it, it's on YouTube now, but at first, my memory is that you made it available on Facebook, and it really took off. I think it got over 1 million views on
yeah,
Facebook. And you even, I think, launched it by saying, confessing, I didn't even want to go to my own music video shoot.
no, I didn't want to go. I mean, that's exactly correct. I mean, we shot the video. I actually remember it, believe it or not. Uh, we did the video, believe it or not. The was I think $1,000 whole production budget. Which, if you know like music production, that's like nothing really. To forward two directors of photography, it was a miracle how it came together. People like I put out this idea. I found an organization called the Vulnerable Rally. My buddy Gabriel Diamond. We got together. We went to the streets of Oakland. We held up signs, and on the signs you write something that it's called the Vulnerable Rally. So something vulnerable that you'd like to share that you've never shared with someone else.
So you're gonna. The premise is you go
Yeah,
to a city, place, in the public, right?
in Oakland.
Downtown Oakland or somewhere in public, and you write something on a cardboard that is the thing that you're most afraid of to share. If somebody knew this about you, this would be the worst thing for you to have somebody else know this about you. Something of that premise.
That's right. So it's riveting information. Exactly. Like the most riveting. You know, somebody in the video said it was riveting. They said, I saw somebody hit a sperm donor hit my mother, like something like that. Like, and this one person lost their mother. Like, I miss my mother. You know, a grown man saying he misses his mother. You know, you don't see these kinds of things in typical media. You know, an individual, there was a moment in the video where you had an older woman, let's say an elder, saying that I'm afraid that I'm never going to figure out what to do with my life. And then you see a young black man in Oakland who's in his mid-20s holding up the same sign. They had no idea they wrote it. So what that shows is that as human beings, we all have these narratives, right? That, and when we can share them with each other, we realize that, you know, this is a human being thing. And that's also why I love the teachings of Ram Dass. Because the more that what I learned, maybe I'm completely off my rocker, but the more that I listen to him, by the way, Raghu Marcus's podcast, the more that I listen to it, which I love, thank you so much, Raghu, for this beautiful gift to the world, the more spiritually evolved we become, the more human we become. And we realize that being a human being and having these emotions and seeing these narratives show up, sometimes maybe limiting narratives, victimhood, that's a human being thing. And then we can just like accept it and love it and then let it go.
And Ram Dass talks about that so much throughout his teachings over the years, and Dharma talks about the things that we cling so tight to and the walls that we put up, and that if anybody knew, it would be the end of us, we feel. And then there's this moment where it's really revealed throughout the video that we are so much more connected than we are separate. And it was such a and it is such a powerful teaching to just courageously, have this container of reveal. And I just, feel more human every time I watch it. And so what's it like taking heavy topics, shall we say, or powerful experiences, and leading groups of people through that moment, that ceremony in a live context as you go about on tour, and your performances are more like experiences, ceremonies, awakenings, through you're a singer-songwriter, a troubadour with acoustic guitar, and yet, people by the end of your sets, they're opening up in ways that they perhaps weren't even prepared to at the beginning of the set.
I mean, to be honest, it's the biggest miracle in the world. Because every single night, no matter if it's 15,000 people or 5, it's the same energy. It's beautiful. It's like, it's the biggest gift to get to do this every night after night, when we're on the road. Right now I'm home, I'm grateful, get to sleep 10 hours a night, I'm stoked. But when we're out there, the road's so grueling. And a lot of the time as a musician, people think, oh, it must be this big party, but we're really loading in and loading out and driving all day. When we get up on that stage for an hour, we get to witness grace. Something happens. Portal opens up. You know, it's like, I'm guessing a lot of people, you're watching this right now, you've had those moments, right, in your life where maybe you're not a performer, maybe you're a farmer, maybe you do permaculture, but there's something about the alchemy of the way that you work the earth, and there's a moment where you feel like there's something bigger, and then you realize, oh my, you know, I think a lot of it happens is I get to see people and their true gifts, and there's just something special that happens. And every night, I don't get to take it for granted, because when it's so riveting, when it's so beautiful, it's like, you can't ignore it. And I'm so grateful every day. And I don't think, you know, I'll ever have the words to share really the experience of getting to do this for a living and get to travel and connect with souls. These are souls having a human experience night after night. It's the most beautiful thing in the world.
We're going to talk about another song that that's getting a lot of traction right now on Spotify, and it was written during the pandemic, and I consider it a healing mantra and affirmation. That song's called "We Are Safe." But before we get into that, I wanted to ask you, in this beautiful container we have, a Soul Land music series, and the inspiration Ram Dass and those waves of loving awareness. How has mantra music affected you? You grew up deeply rooted in the Jewish heritage and faith, and deeply connected to that music and that spiritual tradition. And then as you moved through your journey as a recording and performing artist, you were constantly coming into contact with mantra music and Jews who went and found, you know, Dharma in the East. And again, you have real friendship with Benji and Heather Wertheimer and Jayutal and Krishna Das and others here, you know, and then eventually there was no way you were going to miss the teachings of Ram Dass, you know, through that point. But it really, my understanding is you met the mantra first through these, you know, channels. And I don't know, anything, you know, before we move on to We Are Safe, you want to share about how mantra music has informed and inspired you and affected what you're doing now?
Well, just sure. A quick story. I'll try to bring a short story. A little over 15 years ago, I was tour managing different bands. I was living sleeping in a 18 or 10 person white van, traveling across the United States, sleeping in the van with like 5 guys, you know, in a rock band. And I didn't know what to do with myself. My mom said, why don't you go work at a Jewish summer camp and, you know, you call it a song leader, like a worship leader. And so I ended up going to this camp, went there, had this enlightened moment. And after that summer, you know, realized I was like, this is what I want to do. There's something that happened. It was like a lightning moment. A lightning bolt went through my body, and I saw my entire life flash before my eyes. And it was a little bit after that where another summer was like a year later, I met a rabbi. Her name is Rabbi Sarah Brandis. She's located in Israel now. And she was into yoga, and I was getting into yoga and meditation at the time. And I said to her, you know, what kind of music do you think I should listen to? What's some cool stuff? And she goes, have you ever heard of kirtan? And I said, what's that? And so she puts on a record by Krishna Das, and I'm listening to it, and I was just struck. I was just like, what is this? His voice, like, what is going on? And so, listening to Krishna Das, I said to her, does this happen in Judaism? You know, do we have this in our lineage? And she was like, yeah, well, you know, that's what nigunim are, these chants, you know, even though it's not call and response, we chant these certain pattern of notes, and we hold a kavanah, which is an intention, and we can elevate, we can lift, we can connect with God that way. And I was like, okay, well, what about like actual kirtan? And she said, oh, there's another guy, his name is the kirtan Rabbi Andrew Hahn, you should check him out. And then I said, okay, well, how can I connect deeper with it? She said, well, why don't you go to Jerusalem and go study at Yeshiva Simchat Shlomo. And that was like, yeshiva is like a seminary for Jews. And I lived in Jerusalem, and I studied at the Shlomo Carlebach Yeshiva. And that's kind of like my thing. But my relationship with chant all came from Krishna Das. And if it wasn't for hearing his music, I wouldn't be writing probably spiritual Jewish music. And it came from me listening to Krishna Das. And so years later, when I saw you, that's how I met you. My relationship with chant brought me to you too. I went to my friends like, hey, let's go to Yogi Bhakti Shala on a New Year's, and let's go there and chant for 12 hours. And, being a Jewish guy, I was like, don't tell my rabbi.
Govind Das, also Jewish man who went to India to find the Dharma through and was brought to Ram. The connections are so amazing. And Bhakti Yoga Shala in Santa Monica is lives online now. Just a powerful outlet for helping people learn with integrity and care for the practice these mantras, and yet there's a powerful connection with the Jewish tradition.
It was literally my gateway to my own spiritual search through Krishna Das, and then the full circle to get to, I send him books. He sends me books. He sent me a book called the Baal Shem Tov. It's a book about the first they call him the levitating rabbi, who would meditate. He would sing the songs of the birds, hear the song of the birds, hear the song of the waters, sing the song of the waters. This rabbi, there's a rabbi like that. If you didn't know, his name is Rabbi Yisrael Baal Shem Tov, and he told me to get that book. And I sent him a book called by Gershom Winkler, The Magic of the Ordinary, which talks about the indigenous and shamanic roots of Judaism, which I recommend all those books. But what I want to say, I know I'm talking a lot, Kirtan in itself changed my life when I first went to Yoga Bhakti Shala, when I first heard Krishna Das, when I first heard Jayutal, when I first heard Benji and Heather with Shantala. I have been so moved by the technology and what comes through these artists and what comes through anyone who sits down at a harmonium or sits down with their guitar or sits down with their mridanga and starts playing. There's something that happens and it just resonates, and it's so deep and so powerful and so moving. And I just got to say, if it wasn't for chant and for going to Kirtan and seeing you at Yogi Bhakti Shala, this never would have happened. So I'm still figuring out as we go, but I love going to Kirtans. I'm a big fan. So speaking of it, if you know anything going on, please invite me. I'd like to come.
That's beautiful, man. It's so beautiful. And I know Govind Das is and Radha of Bhakti Yoga Shala. They're big fans of yours, and so I know they'll be touched to see this. We got a couple more minutes here, or less, before we get to bring on Gone Beyond, that we're all so excited about. And but before we do, I just wanted to, anyone who doesn't know yet, that Mikey has a beautiful Instagram account and live performances and all kinds of powerful sharing in his stories. So it's on Instagram at Mikey Pauker. And also he's going to be in Grass Valley live at the High Vibe Fest a week from this Sunday. And you can get your tickets online there, highviberecords.ticketspice.com/highvibefest in Grass Valley a week from Sunday. Before we conclude our portion of the dialogue today, I do want to ask you about a song called We Are Safe, which is now getting more and more each day, more traction on Spotify, being shared through Spotify and played and received. And it was a song written in the deep early stages of the pandemic when the fear was at a deafening volume. And I feel like the song is a healing affirmation and mantra, something one can do to quickly, simply, melodically realign with courage and our heart. And I think it's a gift to the planet right now. I really do. And it's never been more needed than now. Anything you want to share about the song before we conclude this portion of the moment?
Yeah, I mean, as well, that song, you were in the dojo with me when we were writing it together. So you'll give yourself credit. Shiva helped write the song as well. And I mean, what I love about that song is, it's just really like a personal narrative about the real fear and anxiety that I was feeling during the pandemic. That the whole world had to stop, and as being a touring musician, like the whole industry on halt, and so many industries. And it was just, like it was like almost like a lullaby, or like if you could sing an amulet, that's kind of like what the song was, an amulet in vibration and a mantra. Speaking of mantra, reminding us that we're safe. We are safe even in, times of forest fires in California and riots all around the United States, and what happened with the horrible tragedies that happen against people of color in our country, the historic rise of anti-Semitism around the world, so much hate against so many different kinds of people. And it's not to negate those things, right? Not to say, no, this isn't happening. It's not to gaslight experience, but even in the times of challenge, we've given technologies like prayer, we're given technologies like chant and song, words of affirmation that can transform our reality, give us a new narrative that can send healing. And that was my intention, was to help create a song that could be a lullaby, can be some like a shield or armor in the times that we're in. And I feel for all those right now who are going through it. I know me personally, the past few years were some of the hardest years of my life. And I want to thank those years for the music, because if it wasn't for the challenges, as artists, we wouldn't have something to sing about. So may we continue to face and what's coming to us. May we continue to dance with what comes. As I'm pretty sure Ram Dass spoke about that, and may we continue to be more human, and be the loving awareness. May we just continue to be that, and as we move forward. And I would recommend, if you haven't heard the song, it's on Spotify. You just look up Mikey Pauker, and you can hear the song. And I hope it's helpful for you as it has been for me as well. And so I just want to say thanks for having me here. Thanks to everyone at the foundation, Raghu, Shiva, Mangala, everyone, Soulland Records, and Gone Beyond for being a part of this. Ram, Shalom, thanks so much.
Thank you, Mikey. I couldn't think of a better note to conclude this talk on. Thank you for being a beneficial presence on this planet and honoring your Dharma with courage and helping to bring people together during times of discord and disharmony. You're bringing love and connectedness and spreading the music of loving awareness. Thank you, brother. You are a true ally on the path to us all. Ram. Thank you for being here. Okay, let's just take a moment to vibrationally beam Mikey with love and gratitude for his participation tonight as we move forward. And he is definitely hugely influential, essentially influential in building the bridge to our closing artists for the season 3 of Soulland, our Soulland music series, season 3 finale. We have definitely saved something very, very special for the finale in Gone Beyond. And I want to thank Mikey once again for building a bridge to their being here with us. So Gone Beyond is going to perform now. And then there's going to be an interview that was pre-taped with the performance. And then we're going to have the giveaways, which are very big prizes, by the way. So you want to stay tuned to see if you won, because it is, wait till you hear what's being given away and the winners. So that is happening at the end. Okay, so please stay tuned. And with that, I want to just say that Gone Beyond recorded this performance that we're all about to receive just within, I don't know, maybe within 48 hours. It was a short couple of days, like a day or two after this moment, they embarked on their very first large tour, directly supporting Trevor Hall and sharing their new album 2030 for the first time with a live audience. That was written and recorded in the depth of the pandemic, and just some of the most powerful music to come out of Topanga Canyon in many, many years. I think it's the most exceptional album from a new artist in putting out new music this year by far. My jaw dropped when I heard it and heard the context of what they were singing about. This is a band that is divinely on time and contains, they're like a super group. Each one of them can easily have their own career as a solo artist, and they've united as a group, and they share a unique alchemy of magic and healing and insight and celebration and ceremony. So we're getting to see what we're experiencing here, the context of which an artist, a group about to embark on the adventure of a lifetime, truly coming into collision with an extraordinary moment in their dharma. And it's just beginning. And as of last night, the tour with Trevor Hall concluded, and now we have the Soulland Music Series with them. And they concluded their tour performing to a near capacity audience. I saw some of the footage. It looked like nearly every seat was filled in the legendary outdoor Red Rocks Amphitheater in Colorado, one of the most beloved, legendary venues in all of the world, certainly in this country for sure, but I believe it's in all of the world. And that's where they got to conclude the tour. And during the set, there were not one, but two wedding proposals. And that's what their music inspires love. And I'm just so proud of them. I just want to thank Trevor Hall for personally enrolling them in the mission and including them to be a part of his tour and directly support his extraordinary efforts in sharing his music. So that's the moment we're let in on. This is the moment where it was all about to happen. And so it's an exciting thing. And I wanted to make sure that everyone was let in on the context here. And so with that, let me tell you who Gone Gone Beyond is, according to their bio. Gone Gone Beyond is the synergy of David Block, Danny Musengo, Cat Factor, and Mel Semé, delivering a potent message of hope and the desire to return to humanity. The band seems to capture the story of beautiful uncertainty in an ever-changing world. Their music pays homage to the traditions of folk-americana songwriting, while bringing together a myriad of influences from electronica, jazz, soul, and world music. Gone Gone Beyond is painting a new kind of sonic landscape, and it sits between the roots of the California redwoods and the vastness of the Pleiades constellation, intersecting with Topanga Canyon and that magical wellspring, gushing wellspring of inspiration and manifestation in Southern California's great musical tradition. Their album is called 2030. It is available anywhere music is streamed and consumed. I listen to it on Spotify like all the time, and I invite you to do so as well. So without further delay, please welcome, to close out season 3 of the Soulland Music Series, Gone Gone Beyond.
All ready?
Welcome. Thank you, Gone Gone Beyond, for...
All ready? All ready? I'm in heaven right now. Thank you. Feels good. Is recording?
We're so grateful to be here. Before we get started with some music tonight, we just wanted to kind of all build a collective coherence with each other. So just invite you for a moment to find a comfortable position. Relax your body and close your eyes for a moment. Taking the biggest breath you've taken all day. And hold deeper. And release. Dropping into this moment. Arriving completely into this moment. This moment. Taking another deep breath. Hold. Deeper. And release. Releasing all tension in the body. Arriving even more completely into this moment. This moment. Filling ourselves with gratitude. Gratitude for this moment. To be together, listening to music. One more deep breath, all the way in. And release.
Just here for a moment, then floating away. Tomorrow, child, you may be gone. So let us adore one another while we're here. In the morning you may be gone. So let us adore one another while we're here. 'Cause we're just here for a moment, then floating away. We're just here for a moment, then floating away. Tomorrow isn't promised like today. Tomorrow isn't promised, just today. Just today. Just today. Just today. Just today. 'Cause we're just here for the moment, then floating away. 'Cause we're just here for the moment, then floating away. certain way.
We're so grateful to be here. This is such an incredible opportunity to share music with this community. I just wanted to introduce this incredible group of artists here. On my left, we have Sean Rodman.
On my left is David Block.
On my left is Cat Factor.
My left, the great Danny Musengo.
And on my right, the great
Mel Semé.
All saints tonight, come on and say a prayer, come on and shine a light. Have faith that I could get myself down if I'm getting too high. I miss my friends, all the sentimental kids in the heavy metal bands I left behind for a lonely open sky. Gravity, don't let go of me. Gravity, don't let go of me. Don't let go of me.
Stargazer, maybe there's no sign of light up above us, just a million points of light. Dream chasing men, if you ever get tired of blowing in the wind, you'll come back round. I'll put you 2 feet on the ground. Gravity, don't let go of me. 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 Don't let go of, don't let go of me.
One, two, three.
There's some color in her face now, like the blossom of a moonflower grows wild up the coastline, just a few miles from here.
While most things are best unsaid, brother, she ain't one of them. Her loving has a violence, and that's how you know it's good. Well, you can try to pin her down on a parchment paper, she can set your house on fire. But if you came here with the thought you'd break her, I think you need to change your mind.
just can't help but shine. Shine, oh shine. She just can't help but shine. 'Cause you could spend your whole life waiting for the right time, so take it as a good sign. She ever let you get a hold. Now let her heart sing, 'cause that means everything. Love her while she's here, don't ever when you let her go. Well, you can try to pin her down on a parchment paper, she can set your hands on fire. But if you came here with the thought you'd break her, I think you need to change your mind. 'Cause she just can't help but shine. Shine, oh shine. No, she just can't help but shine. No, she just can't help but shine. No, she just can't help but shine.
All right.
I've been traveling away, that has led me to the water, while everybody in LA was safe at home. For sure, my baby was an earth sign.
I feel the spaces up above her.
She said, I know you've got a good heart,
But there's a better way to love her.
still I believe, even if it's not real, there ain't nothing that time won't heal. And I see you in the canyon. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, no, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, no, yeah. If you could keep me awake, if you could keep me awake a little longer, our day is gonna come, our day is gonna come, and that's a promise. I believe, even if it's not real, there ain't nothing that time won't heal. And I see you in the canyon. Yeah, I know there ain't nothing gonna stop you now. When you're ready, you can come back down. got one last acoustic one for you guys before we get moving a little bit. But this is an early song that Dave and I wrote together before we kind of moved out of the city to start doing this. It's a big inspiration for what became 2030, I think.
Changing for the better this time. Ooh, things are changing for the better this time. Yeah, I do better this time. Yeah, I do better this time. Yeah. You know the grasshopper plays his fiddle while all the ants get ready for the end times. But when the winter finally comes, I'll be outside looking in on the sea. You know a man can't live off a bread alone. He's gonna need some sounds that'll fit his soul. Come on and play me a song everybody knows, and we all sing along like here we go. Changing for the better this time.
For the better this time.
Well, I know I must suffer, yeah, on account of my crime. But I'll never be alone, no, I'm never gonna fall in line while the people get ready for the end times. Try to save a little money for the afterlife. But when the winter finally comes, I'll be outside looking in on the sea. You know a man can't live off of bread alone. He's gonna need some sounds that'll fit his soul. Come on and play me a song everybody knows, and we all sing along like here it goes. I know I must suffer. I know I must. Well, I know I must suffer. Changing for the better this time.
For the better this time.
Ooh, things are changing for the better this time. Yeah, yeah, I do better this time. So I do better this.
my sorries and my worries by the sea. All my past lives and my darkest lives, you and me. Feel the headlights, how they're gonna burn, rain on me. For my skin is dry, so I'll let the waves wash over me. Wash over me. Wash over me. All of my sorries and my worries by the sea. All my past lives and my darkest lives, you and me. How young and how old, how tall and how bold. I said hot sunburns on feet. I keep rolling towards the sea. How wild and how hard is to be the right my heart. I leave my sorries and my worries by the sea. All my past lives and my darkest nights, you and me. Feel the heavy clouds, how they're gonna burn, rain on me. My skin is dry, so I let the waves wash over me. Wash over me. La, 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 la. Wash over me. La, 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 la. Wash over me. Wash over me. Wash over me.
It's the sharpest pain. Started in my heart, but it got in my veins. Once it had my body, then the spirit came to ask me if I thought my love was true.
Oh, for sure, I say the time I spent in silence was a bright parade. I know I may seem childish, but I'm still afraid to sleep alone, and night is coming soon. So be like my little moon. If you be like, I follow you. Yeah, I follow. Yeah, I follow.
was it better when it wasn't love? Just unrelated passengers on the same plane. They say that there's another Earth out there looking back at us, but that's just what they say. There's nothing in the way. There's nothing in the way. There's nothing in the way. But there's something missing, and I think I need it. Oh, but there's something missing. Oh, and I think I need it. Oh, 'cause I've been thinking about it. I only imagine life is ecstatic. Can we handle all of the pain and all of the love and all of the magic? I'll tell you a story, you can decide if you wanna have it. If you wanna have it, 'cause I've been thinking about it. I only imagine life is ecstatic. Can we handle all of the pain and all of the love and all of the magic? I'll tell you a story, you can decide if you wanna have it. If you wanna have it. There's nothing in the way. There's nothing in the way. There's nothing in the way. But there's something missing, and I think I need it. Oh, but there's something missing. Oh, and I think I need it. Oh, but there's something missing. Oh, and I think I need it.
All right, this is a song called Coast.
Oh, brother, I have tried, like a drop inside the ocean, but there's some karma on my ride. There's a place where I am going. It's out of my control, so I'm gonna coast for a little while. Oh, brother, there's a light. I know I saw it in our father. He couldn't ease her worried mind, even though he really loved her. It's out of my control, so I'm gonna coast
so I'm gonna coast for a little while. It's out of my control, so I'm gonna coast for a little while.
All right.
Thank you guys so much for going on this adventure with us. It's such an honor to share music with this community. Ram Dass has been such an incredibly powerful teacher for all of us, and we're so honored to be able to share music and to be together. And this has been such an incredibly challenging time for humanity. And music has been such a powerful unifying force and such a powerful medicine for all of us. And we're really, really honored to share the music with you. So this last song is from our new album called 2030. It's a song called Marigold.
Yeah, Danny wrote this song and showed it to Mel and I actually in New Year's morning. Was it 2019?
Beginning of 2020.
Beginning of 2020. Yeah. And we just cried listening to this song. And the title of the album is kind of based on this track, Marigold.
You got a heart that could light up the sky. I see it way out in space. I feel it real deep inside. You got a face that almost makes me cry. And if I only get one wish, I'll give it to you tonight. I hope I see you in the year 2030, just as pretty as you was when you was a kid. And after all the trouble of the thunderstorm, the sun came out again, and it was marigold. And it was marigold. Maybe it takes a whole bunch of lives to ever really find a place, to ever really get it right. But maybe there's a whole lot to lose. You can do what you like. You can do what you should. I hope I see you in the year 2030, just as pretty as you was when you was a kid. And after all the trouble of the thunderstorm, the sun came out again. The sun came out again, and it was marigold. And it was marigold.
was merry-go. I hope I see you in the year 2030, just as pretty as he was when he was a kid. And after all the trouble of a thunderstorm, the sun came out again. The sun came out again. The sun came out again. And he was merry-go. Oh. And he was merry-go. Oh. And he was merry-go. And he was merry-go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shiva,
Shivya.
for being here.
Thank you, RD.
Thank you, Casey, for shooting for us and being here today.
Welcome. Thank you, Gone Beyond, for making the finale of the Soulland music series this season all the more special and beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Shiva.
I just witnessed the performance. I was right here on this couch, so I'm pretty overwhelmed with emotion and sitting in this beautiful afterglow. And in the conclusion, where we wind up, is Marigold. And thank you for performing it tonight in the finale of the music. There's what would you like to say about the conclusion of the album?
I remember when we started learning the song, because it's once again
was showing us on New Year's.
one of those downloads from Danny, and it's so interesting when somebody else writes a song and then you learn the song, and it like immediately felt like my song, and it was so deep, and all the words of the song made sense to me. Like the narrative of the song made so much sense to me, because I hope I see you in the year 2030 just as pretty as it was when I was a kid. And I have my two daughters, but at that time I also had my mom that was in her late stages, and it made so much sense to have that kind of like parallel reality for myself through the song, like thinking about the energy of my daughters growing up and the energy of my mom passing on, right?
That was an interesting thing about
Yeah.
just in writing the song, to have all of that was in mind, actually. Like I was writing a love song, but David had called me and was like, was at a summit. We had played well, I'll let him talk about, but like the UN, and it was all about, these 2030 was the year that they sort of set for
Sustainable Development Goals.
Sustainable Development Goals. And so he had called and said that he was like a song for 2030, like a song for Mother Earth. And then Mel's mom was, in her late stages. And so honestly, the trick was I wanted words that meant all three of those things. Like if I was to write a love song to Mother Earth, a love song to my love, or a song for Mel to his mom, but I only had one set of words to use, like what would those words be, kind of thing,
Yeah, and I think every time we make anything, there's an opportunity, right? Whether we choose to take that opportunity or to just make something and just think and not define our why. That's our choice, right? We have that choice. We can. And everyone has a why, but I've always felt that when you put certain intention into your work, it changes the quality of your work, and depending on that intention, it will change how it will change the quality of that work. And we were talking a lot about, why we write songs. What is the purpose of our songs? Danny was writing this. He said it's love song. I was like, let's write a love song. Let's write a love song for the earth. And he was already halfway into the song. And so it's so beautiful how, different people can take different meanings of it. It's so easy to think that we know what we're doing, and we know where we're going. But this whole band has just been such an incredible illustration of surrender, and of letting the great organizational forces of nature and the universe work through us, instead of trying to control our creativity and claim our creativity. Instead of being a human doing, we're allowing ourselves to be a human being. And I think that it's surrendering and allowing this music to unfold, not saying we're going to go in and record an album. That's not what we did, right? We're going to just be creatives, allow art to happen, to be a happening. We're a verb, not a noun. Right? And
I was just thinking of the lyric, in Marigold, and after all the trouble of a thunderstorm, the sun came out again and it was marigold, And it's that's exactly the feeling I was having even with Riptide, and it's all throughout the album of just the tension and release, the dark and the light, the letting go and the birthing anew. It's this is, to me, the energy of the album is that ebb and flow. It is the tension and release. And I really don't feel like we're responsible for the music we create. We show up to do the work so that we're capable of being utilized for the energy, for the muse that exists in the room. There's so many lyrics that you think of, you're just oh, I could repeat that to myself over and over again. Even with there's nothing in the way. There's nothing in the way. There's nothing in the way. As I'm singing Another Earth, I'm telling myself that's the moment of the song that I connect with so deeply too. And I feel like a lot of the statements that we make lyrically are really things that are just help us to gain acceptance with this humanness, that we're all living in, which comes with the whole spectrum of realities and emotions and trials and tribulations and pain and suffering, and also love and joy and light and bliss. And so this album to me is a reflection of all of those things. It is the deep pain and suffering. It is the death and the rebirth. It's the tension and release, And I agree that the end of the album does encapsulate that feeling very well.
Yeah, that's the unbearable lightness of being. It's sort of just the isness, what it feels like to be alive at the moment that we're downloading the song. That when we're writing the song, what does, like you said, that you came in the room and the song Canyon sounds like this room. It sounds like sitting cross-legged on pillows, in this room with frogs outside. And like, I think that's all really it is like recording what it's happening when you're alive, like, and kind of reflecting it back to everybody so they can see themselves, in all of their beauty and not so beautiful things, and I think that that's like the goal, when we're making a song, is just to like really capture the isness, the moment. Yeah,
This moment.
that's it.
And I feel like every one of us has that kind of like sense of subtleties, and there's like this common place for all of us to find that place of nothingness and everythingness at the same time when we create something. Like, I value that so much, and I really appreciate that from all of you guys, because I'm a drummer. I'm a classical musician, trained musician, and I've been sharing like creative moments and professional musical environments with so many people throughout my life, and it's such a unique and valuable thing to have, to be able to go to this place of creation in which what's important is not what you're doing or how people perceive you, but the creation itself and what it's going to give out to the world, how it's going to heal people's lives, and to be able to be together in that same way of expression is incredible. It's such a gift for me, and I think for each one of us, and it makes our work so much more powerful when we deliver it to the rest of the world.
Wow. Well, exquisitely articulated from each band member. Congratulations on one, completing the album, giving it to the world, and now completing your first tour.
It went so well, didn't it? It went so well.
It was
really good.
Thank you, Trevor Hall.
Yeah.
Thank you, Trevor.
Yeah. And thanks, RD. Thank you.
Thanks,
RD.
Sean Rodman.
Thank you, Sean.
Sean,
I don't know if you want to add anything.
Way too much.
He's a talker.
before we get out of here, anything that anybody in the group who has been affected by the work of Ram Dass and influenced by that in any way, please feel free to just come from your heart and say whatever, because the audience is up for that.
Yeah. Well, I met Ram Dass, God, I don't know, eight or so years ago. I was living in Maui, and my friend Vishnu Das, was helping, take care of him and working with him, and also going over and singing and just being a big part of that community. And I'd say just two quick stories. So the first time I met him, I had been up all night. Might have been some psychedelics involved. And I'm in the morning. I hadn't slept, and he comes in, and they wheel him in. There's thunderstorm outside, and he has just like the biggest radiant smile I've ever seen in my life. He's like how his smile is, and I'm sitting 4 feet from him, and he's sitting there in his chair, and there's a bunch of people behind me, and I'm just like sitting there, and he takes a microphone. He has the microphone, and he this is post his stroke, obviously, and he says, "In this moment," and 30 seconds goes by, and everyone's like on the edge of their seat, and I'm just like sitting there in front, and then he says again, "In this moment." This goes on for like 5 or 6 minutes. Most other people are sitting there being like, "In this moment, what? In this moment, what? In this moment, what?" And I sit there and I have this realization. That's the whole thing. That's the whole teaching. It's just this moment. That was the whole teaching. There's no other thing. There's no advanced course. That's the whole deal. It's this moment. And that was the beginning of my journey with him. And then when he passed away, I had this very strange experience where, he tells all these stories about his friend Emmanuel. And he says, everyone has such a hard time with Emmanuel just because he doesn't have a body. He's a disembodied being. But he was obviously a very dear friend and a great teacher for Ram Dass. And when he died, Ram Dass would always tell the story about the Maharishi when he was leaving, and they're like, "Please don't go, please." He's like, "I'm just dropping my body. Like, you're welcome. I'm going to be everywhere now." And that felt really very real for me. I felt like he kind of incarnated, like part of him, like came into my soul. And from the moment he passed away, I was listening to him maybe an hour or two every single day. And he would come to me in these different forms of like people who would be aggravating me. And then he would be like, "Ha, I got you." Or people when I would lose my temper, it would be like, "Here you go." And the idea of love, only two things that we have to do in our life: love everyone and tell the truth. And his realization, the truth is I don't love everyone. That's like my big teaching for me right now, of dealing with the world, which is full of so much suffering. It's like, how do I love the people who are the oppressors? How do I love the people who are doing and causing so many injustices? How do I put those horrible people on my altar? And he's become my greatest teacher, and maybe it's like the silly Jewish wisdom and also being Jewish and that just feels so identified with him as a teacher, and it feels so familiar and so comfortable to learn such incredible deep wisdom, but from someone who never really claimed to be like an enlightened being. He was always so connected to his humanity. He's like, "Oh, there you are, like silly pervert again," or there, like, "You can come in for tea, but you're not welcome to stay." And it's just given me so much permission to be on my spiritual path and to not need to be perfect, and to just like that the journey is the destination, that we're constantly unfolding. We are happening. We're just walking each other home, like all these incredible teachings are the most important teachings I've ever encountered, really. And they inform me every moment of every single day, and help me in becoming the most incredible version of myself that's possible. So when you guys called and asked if we wanted to do this, I cried. Because I know it's like he's still there, and he's informing all of my life all the time, all the music. Every time I lose my temper, every time I have a great big win, he's like kind of there championing all of us to just be here in this moment. This moment. This is it. That's all we have. So we're so grateful for you. I know he's affected everyone. I don't know if everyone else wants to mention it, but
he's Be Here Now, Gone Beyond is like, that's where I knew it from, the page and Be Here Now. And he's been a huge influence, a big part of me, I don't know, my spiritual development, I suppose. But I think that he also he has like a certain smirk about him, sort of like Alan Watts or Mark Twain, that sort of like makes you like really feel like he's not bullshit, like he's like the good grandfather of like, at least when I knew him, of him. And he had a very like light kind of clownness to him. And it was like a beautiful light sort of, I don't know, rainbow spirit. But no, he's one of the greats. Would you like to say?
I think one of the things which I get to know about him through the band. One of the things that I have incorporated in my life is just appreciation for everything that comes and everything that happens, and I do a lot of effort. And I travel a lot. I have my daughters. I do so much stuff, and I love like doing physical stuff. I love martial arts and things like that. And I have there's so much sometimes intensity in my life, but I try to welcome everything in a way that it's like a gift for me because it's what's happening in the moment. So instead of going like, oh, I've been traveling for 9 hours and now I'm so tired and so destroyed, I'm like, I'm so lucky to have been able to be here right now. Like I'm living the best of my life. Or when I have like whatever obligation that comes to me, like I have to, I don't know, arrive from tour and go pick up my daughters, and it's like, oh, I've been traveling for so long and now I have to go pick. Oh, it's so great now that I'm here. I can go pick up my daughters. So everything has changed in the way I see my experiences through just appreciating the moment, right? Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yes, and I'm just so grateful for whatever my good karma was to travel me across time to arrive with Gone Beyond in this moment. This moment, it's a exquisite moment, and your album 2030 is a beneficial presence on this planet, and I am so excited for so many more souls to discover that too. So thank you for taking some time in your preparation for your first tour in support of the album to share with the audience so deeply and so beautifully. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ram Dass.
Gone beyond. Wow. What a finale for season 3 of Soulland Music Series. Thank you. Thank you, Gone Beyond. And thank you, Mikey Pauker. And from all of us at ramdas.org and Love Serve Remember Foundation and Soulland Records, we thank you for your loving witness and your participation and coming together right now in this moment, whether you're watching the replay or you're watching here live. We're so grateful for your presence. People are tuning in literally from all over the planet to participate in this experience. And we are so grateful that we can come together right now with the world being what the world is. We can pause and take refuge in this music. It's music of the heart, the soul, and the spirit. And it's another moment to participate together in a parenthesis of loving awareness. Thank you so much. Ooh, hardest thing I've had to do tonight is to talk with this big lump in my throat of emotion. And that's what it was like for me to be there with Gone Beyond in Topanga Canyon, the most idyllic, just magical setting. And this is a group that was literally on the cusp within hours of embarking on their first big tour, performing for thousands of people every evening, sharing that music in that soul space. And that was the first time that it ever happened to them. They got to directly support Trevor Hall. And so what a special moment that we got to be let in on and share together as a group, so truly affected by the teachings and loving wisdom and loving awareness of Ram Dass. And they just powerfully articulate it, not only in the interview, but through their sound and their songs and their being and their performance. And they're a very unique group. Again, they're called Gone Beyond. And of course, if you know Be Here Now, you'll get the reference. And their music is available everywhere music can be consumed and streamed. And the same goes for Mikey Pauker, who opened the program and actually introduced us to Gone Beyond. So if it weren't for Mikey, this program couldn't have come together tonight. And of course, as well, for all the people behind the scenes, the Love Serve Remember Foundation, Soul Land Records, and ramdas.org, and the Be Here Now Network. There's a whole lot that happens behind the scenes here. And now in this season 3 finale of the Soul Land music series, let's also take a moment to honor all the other artists who participated this season. We had Wad, David Starfire, Jai Utal, and Karnamrita Dasi, Mariah Woods, and Mike Posner. And tonight, Mikey Pauker and Gone Beyond. All of the replays are available. So ramdas.org is the website, and of course the YouTube channel. And you see this cool hat I'm wearing, Be Here Now hat. That's available at the ramdas.org site, and cool things like that go to just support the foundation. And so it's a really good reminder before we announce the winners here to, if you can, if you're able to, and if you're inspired to, if it feels right, please donate, because it does help. We rely on your support. We're here through our collective support, and these programs and the artists and the leaders and the teachers here that make up this community and this network of really locking soul to soul, heart to heart resuscitation in the practice of loving awareness right now in real time is made possible through our continued generosity. So thank you for continuing the generosity in any way you can. And perhaps it's just by being here and to bear loving witness, but it could also mean including a donation if you're able to make it. There's many different ways to do it through the links on the YouTube channel there, through the website. And of course, there's also, I just want to make sure I get this right, because it's really cool, a thing in the modern era. We can text the donation. Text SOUL 22. Okay, so in capital letters, in all caps, you can text safely, securely from your phone, your mobile device, capital, all one word, SOUL 22. And you want to text the number that's in the body of the text, and the number you want to text that out to securely donate over mobile phone is 91999. So 91999 in the body of the text, in all caps, SOUL 22, SOUL 22, to donate over mobile. And we thank you for your continued generosity in any way you're able to, including just being here. Thank you so much. We also invite everyone to stay connected in this powerful, connected satsang, this community of fellow seekers. A great way to continue that level of participation and gathering together is by visiting ramdas.org/fellowship, ramdas.org/fellowship. That's a great way to participate in a global satsang. You're people tuning in these live streams from all over the planet. I know India tunes in. I saw live Brazil was tuning in tonight, and that's so cool. And here we were, groups in the heart of Southern California, Gone Beyond taping that was recorded in Topanga Canyon. A really rich history of musical tradition. Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Neil Young, and Joni Mitchell, now Gone Beyond, and Mikey Pauker, who's both in Northern California and Southern California, but yet we get to gather through this miracle of modern technology. Let us continue to rejoice in that and never take it for granted. So without further ado, to close the season 3 finale in gratitude, we are practicing generosity. So here are the giveaway winners. Okay. What did they win? Well, the following 4 names will each receive a limited edition, signed and numbered holograph print of the Ram Dass portrait that the brilliant artist John Speaker painted during last season's Soulland music series. It's really something to behold. You could see it on the Ram Dass Instagram. It's just so beautiful, amongst other places. So here are the winners of that. I wish I was one of them. Y'all very, very blessed and highly favored, these winners here. Okay. We got Cliff, who's at, I think these are all Instagram handles. So Cliff at Claude double F. That's winner number one. Cliff. He's at Claw with KLAW double F. The second winner is the other Mike D, not the Mike D from Beastie Boys, but the other Mike D. So it's at the _other_ Mike D. Down with Mike D, and it ain't no baloney, as the rhyme goes from back in the Beastie Boy days. So that's number two. Number three is Jennifer Black Smith, and her handle is at Zen at Zen Jennifer Black Smith. And winner number four is Tyler Chappell at _Tyler Chappell. Congratulations to all four winners. We'll be reaching out to each winner directly via the Soulland Records Instagram account on Monday, May 2nd. Each winner will have 2 weeks to claim their prize before we select an alternate winner if nobody in 2 weeks can reach back out. So anyway, spread the word to those really cool folks because they won a limited edition Ram Dass portrait from the amazing artist John Speaker. It's really something to behold. And now we also have one grand prize winner. The grand prize winner will take home the following prize bundle: a John Speaker Ram Dass print, a 50th anniversary Be Here Now collector's box set, a Be Here Now wall clock, and a $100 gift card to the Ram Dass web store. We can get a cool Be Here Now hat, amongst other very cool Ram Dass things that supports the foundation. And the grand prize winner is no name, but a handle of Weavas. So that's WEEVAAS. Weavas. You won. So congratulations, you beautiful soul, you. You've just won the grand prize. And guess what? We've all won the grand prize. We got to be here together. We got to experience Mikey Pauker and Gone Beyond. And we got to remind each other during the midst of this chaos and madness of the world that we are not so alone. If we're feeling the need for human connection, if we're feeling maybe we lost our spirit for a moment because we saw the news or were reminded of something that just deeply troubled us and was so dispiriting that we got taken out of the game for a minute and had to pull off on the side of the road and heal and regroup, and we're reminded that we do not walk this path alone, that we truly are here together, each other's prasad, walking each other home. And the music is a gift of grace, and it's available to us. And please take this home as a final thought of our time together. These artists and these leaders and these teachers that are doing work that inspires us are so deserving of our support, our continued support, our continued encouragement. And one of the best things we could do is to really, really share their work, to champion their work, to sing out loud the praises of their work if we believe in it, and to spread the word, to not keep it a secret, not keep it to ourselves. If they come to our town and we feel safe to go see them live performance, to go buy a ticket and support that. And in any way we find we could, whether it be sending a direct donation to them, these artists, these leaders, these teachers rely on our continued support of their work. And we thank them for helping us get through some of the truly most uniquely, in moments, unimaginable times. And they're here for us, and they have our back. And let's continue to have their back as we continue to all be there for each other here now in this loving awareness. So on that note, on that resounding chord of love, we say not goodbye, not good night, but to be continued. Let's keep meeting up real soon. My name is Shiva. I'm deeply, deeply honored to be able to share this message tonight and to be here in this way right now. And as the great Van Morrison shared with Raghu Marcus, I will pass that word on to everybody. And he said, stay solid, stay solid. And as Ram Dass continues to remind us, we are loving awareness. We are loving awareness. Ram, 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 Ram. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your time on the journey. And let's meet up again real soon, just like this. So much love. Keep well. Ram, Ram. Peace.